You know, as much as we like to drag on TvT sometimes, you know, I just want to see some Terrans kill each other.
Yeah, and here we go. Kill each other they will, as it's spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. It is the Polish Terran in the red playing for KyZ Gaming. This is Spirit.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Data under the sea, we have his opponent, the French Terran player himself, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem.
Ooh. Spirit opening up with a gas first, so this is a little bit unusual in this matchup. I have seen a little bit of a resurgence of gas first fast expands, which leads to a reactor Hellion build, so we could be seeing that.
Yeah, we'll see how Spirit decides to mix things up here, especially because, like, again, he's up against Clem of all players, you know, a player who is kind of in his own home turf there in Europe. You know, the event may not be in France, but Clem is one of the stronger players in said group. So I expect to see Spirit start off a little bit different here as he gets into this series, as he gets into these games.
Yeah, definitely. Just wants to mix things up a little bit, and it does, in fact, look like he is going to be going for a fast expand build here.
Yeah, okay, so gonna be looking to approach this in a little bit more of an economic setting, you know, maybe even gambling a little bit, assuming that Clem wouldn't be overly aggressive in the early game.
Yeah, so Clem definitely playing things on the safest side. And I think Spirit, yeah, so this is usually going to lead into either Hellion Raven, which looks kind of weird in a TvT, or there is a Hellbat Marauder, sorry, not Hellbat, a Hellion Marauder build that does come out of this. So it's an attack with 6 Hellions and 2 Marauders in a medevac. You can kind of drop the Marauders on a tank, on a Cyclone, anything like that, and it can hit really hard, and you have a pretty good economy behind it as well.
Don't tease me, Bobby. The Hellion Marauder? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, when Clem used to spam it, he used to really like that build, but he stopped doing it.
Yeah, we'll see, as we are getting a bit of an add-on swap here to get into some Hellion production from the side of Spirits. We do have that 1-1-1 follow-up. So we'll see how things kind of come together. Meanwhile, across the map, Clem is just opening up quite safe. You know, he's got his Reapers back at home. He's going to his Widowmine as well. It's kind of more of what we would expect in a TvT. It's, again, Spirit who's kind of mixing things up a little bit more.
Yeah, this is pretty much the gold standard TvT build in the current meta. The 2 Reapers, the Hellion, and the Mine. It's a very strong defensive setup that you have here that should be able to deal especially well with most Reaper Hellion builds. Just very standard, very EU, I want to say. You hear Marine going for this a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you want to be going for the most standard defensive thing to get you past the early game. Meanwhile, back at home, we do see the Hellion Raven being set up for Spirits. No Marauders, unfortunately. No Stim or Tech Lab on that Rax to begin with. So, yeah, Spirit kind of going for his own way here. And with this, do Terran players, or would Spirit find like an opportunity to like be aggressive and break on into the natural despite this Widowmine, despite the Cyclones, or not so much?
I don't think so. I think usually you're pretty defensive with this setup.
Okay.
I don't remember. I haven't seen anyone play it for a while, but I know Bunny and Beyond go through phases where they use this build quite a bit. It does give you map control. I don't think there's many builds that can take map control off of this, but at the same time, you can't really run into tanks with Hellions, so there's not too much you can get done with it.
Yeah, and speaking of, we should be seeing tank production soon. Clem's just, you know, getting his second Cyclone for the time being, just being giga safe here with his opener, working towards his 3rd CC. Likewise, so is Spirit. 3rd CC is on the way. So both players are just kind of chilling at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, neither player has seen the halfway point of the map yet, so Bit of a EU TvT that we got ourselves into here. Clem actually, he has set himself up in a pretty nice way to deal with a fast expand without even really realizing it, going for a very fast third. I think that was going down around 430. So that is one of the ways that you can respond to fast expand, quite interestingly. Even though this is the first he's going to be seeing of anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's kind of outgreeding or, again, catching up in the economy compared to his opponents. Now he's finally going to get eyes across the map. He's going to try and sneak a couple of these Reapers into the main base. Looks like he will, but he will run into all those Hellions. Oh.
Yeah, so there we go. He does see all the Hellions. That should give him a pretty decent idea of the kind of build that he has been up against. But there's not really anything he needs to do to respond. He is just powering up back at home. He's got his 2 Ravens. He's got his Vikings starting to be produced. He's going to be feeling pretty comfortable just to land this third and get that on the way. And meanwhile for Spirit, going to be going into bio off this. And he himself is in a pretty similar spot. He's actually gone for 3 Ravens here. So that's a very, very strong defensive force. Might even want to split 1 or 2 of those off to get some harass once he realizes that Clem isn't going to be looking to push just yet.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've casted a nice European TvT, and I remember why. As Spirit is, you know, he's getting a really solid position here at this third base. He's finally going to be moving out a little bit with these Hellions just to poke and prod. You were talking about map control earlier, and that's kind of what he's doing right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to take control of the Zonagas with them, just to get eyes on any kind of drop play. But for the time being, both players are just really content to just get their third bases up and running.
They're not even fighting like animals.
They're animals, Papi. They think they're better than animals, but they're not. Oh my god. As yeah, we should be for the time being anyway, we're just kind of working on our upgrades. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 4th thrown down soon. We see a little bit of vying for control of the Zonaga. Spirit is able to take down that Hellion towards the high ground, or sorry, towards the northern Zonaga at least. Clem still has control of the south.
Yeah, we see both players kind of spreading some depots out across the map to make sure that they're not getting doom dropped into their mains or anything like that. We do see that map control being fought for. Spirit should be able to get the best of that if he can be active with his Hellions and just clean up all these little spotter Marines of Clem, but looks like instead he's going to be going for a push, and with 3 full energy Ravens, this is a pretty scary push.
It is, and so far Clem hasn't caught wind of this until now, especially with the Sentinel finishing up. This has been spotted, even though despite that, can he do anything about it? Looking at the units tab here, we do see Spirit has a little bit of an advantage when it comes to the Viking count. He does have 6 compared to the 4 of Clem. He's got the Raven advantage as well, but for the time being, he hasn't been able to really make use of that.
Yeah, I mean, when it's going to be seeing these 2 players dancing back and forth, neither one really wanting to overcommit here into the tank lines. One of the Cyclones going to be going down for Clem, and we do see, a very well-timed scan is going to be seeing that drop load up and get sent out. So that's pretty fortunate for Clem there.
Oh my god, yeah, I mean, he would have caught it anyway because of this watchtower, I guess, but yeah, that was a very fortunate scan. He's fully aware of the potential for drop play as well. He's going to be rotating over and maybe even getting a couple of spotters in position as well. Yep, there we go. Another scissors tower being thrown down just in case a drop comes his way.
Yeah, so there we go. This little double drop by Spirit just going to be establishing some map control. We can see behind this sending out his Hellions, trying to find that army of Clem, but Clem very happy here to just assume a more defensive posture. And you can really see the amount of growth that Clem's had in his TvT. I feel like this was always a bit of a weak matchup for him just because he is such an aggressive player, but we can see here that he's more than happy to play the meta, more than happy to, you know, just sit back, defend, be confident in his late game and let Spirit come to him.
Yeah, and I think that's really smart, especially when it comes to these marathon days of competing and playing. When you've got like 18 plus matches ahead of you, you know, you want to be trying to conserve yourself. You don't want to be hyper aggressive every single game. You want to be able to find some room to take things easy, and see if Clem is able to make full use of that. We do see him sneaking out here with a bit of a double drop, and he's actually going to be able to make his way all the way into the 3rd mineral line. Oh.
Yeah, really well-timed run by. He's just going to be tagged by this anti-armor missile. Pretty lucky to get out there with that medevac, and he is causing all sorts of havoc. He doesn't really mind trading out these Marines either with his transition coming up behind this.
Yeah, as we do see Clem's entire army, he's just sending it across the southern portion of the map. He does get in range of that planetary. Spirit was completely pulled out of position, but at the same time, Spirit also has a force across the map who immediately forces Clem to lift up his third.
Yeah, very cute move here by Spirit. I've not actually seen this much, but it's really cool. He split off one Raven with a good amount of bio, so if there was just a few tanks left behind to defend, he would have been able to take them out. But big fight going down here to the south. Both players trading out a good amount of supply.
Oh, exactly. After all said and done, the bloodbath is over. We do see, in the end, Spirit's losing a little bit more there, but his defensive position was still quite good, and he's also been able to deny any kind of mining at that third base. He turns back around with his Marines. Can he catch the tanks? He gets the disables off. Yeah,
nicely done. We can see how that Raven was intended for this force. Even taking out a couple Vikings, his Spirit, he will take out that tank on his way out, and that's some really nice value for these Marines, which honestly, he is just looking to trade those out for good value trades as he does get those extra starports up. Looks like he's going to be just on the 3 for now, but both players trying to head safely into their air transition.
Oh, exactly. 3 starports getting ready. The fusion core on the way as well. Clem's already got his own fusion core. Corvid reactors is being researched, but that was some nice moves from Spirit. He's able to maintain his economy throughout all of that. He's able to counterattack, get some really high value pickoffs. Overall, though, he is struggling in the supply here. Again, just I guess focusing a little bit more on his tech and production more than anything as he slowly gets back into his army.
Yeah, it does look like Clem was able to preserve a few more Marines and a few more tanks here, so let's have a bit of a nicer army. We can see as well, Clem is going to be going for the Raven transition, whereas Spirit is going to be going for a Lib transition. This is something that I personally find a little bit unusual for this level of play. Usually we see Viking Raven. It does tend to be a bit of a better composition, especially in bio versus bio, but it looks like Spirit just going to be mixing things up a little bit, going for Libs instead.
Yeah, we'll see how this turns out for Spirits as he's going to be getting ready for that. We already see, yep, Lib range on the way alongside ship weapons. We do see a couple of tanks looking to distract Clem towards the left-hand side. We do see a massive drop going into the main base of Clem, and Clem didn't see this coming.
Yeah, nice Doom drop coming in there. These Marines as well just going to be able to shoot off those Vikings. They will eventually get on top of these medevacs, but these are some pretty good trades coming out from Spirit. He focuses down the Raven, so all the energy that would have built up is now no longer available. A few Vikings going down as well. Vikings much more valuable than Marines in this situation.
Yeah, the target firing there from Spirit was insane with how he was able to use the handful of Marines there. Even here, being able to focus fire a couple of SCVs, he finally will get cleaned up. But you were talking about it, he wanted to get rid of the majority of his Marines. He did lose a couple of tanks, but not too many were committed in that Doom drop.
Yeah, exactly, and we can just see Spirit is starting to shuck around, but the defensive setup for Clem just a little bit too good here, and you can see why this map is so strong for the defender in TvT. There's just so many ramps going up into each base, and you can't really be attacking up ramps into siege tanks.
Yeah, exactly. It's so difficult to pull that off. That's why, things like Doom drops are as popular as they are, especially in this matchup. Meanwhile, we do see Clem looking to reciprocate his damage. He's able to catch one of these bases, and it looks like it's going to just straight up go down.
Yeah, so that new base coming up for Spirit, that 5th is being taken out. We see Clem scanning the other side as well. See that there's no other 5th, so he should be confident he's in a fantastic position right now. And yeah, it does look like we are going to be seeing him backing off a little bit, realizing just how strong a position he's in.
Oh my god, and that drop, the Marines from Clem, they don't stop, by the way. They take down another building SCV, a third building SCV as well. Spirit, I almost want to say that he's pretty committed with this pusher. He has to be, because these Marines from Clem are just getting a little bit out of control.
Yeah, exactly. We can see with that extra reactor production, he does have a better Viking count by quite a lot, actually. So he will be able to push Clem back a little bit in that way, but looks like Clem's just going to sit behind his tanks, sit behind his Marines, try to be a bit extra safe. And if he really does get in trouble, he can always disable the Liberators as well.
Oh, you say that, but a high-energy Raven just got picked up. I say that, but the Marines of Clem,
wow.
He has no fear. Oh my god.
The timing is insane. Just catches those tanks on siege for Spirit right on time. And does look like he is going to be doing his best to defend here, just trying to be as patient as he possibly can.
He knows, puppy. He's unsieged, puppy. He's unsieged.
Exactly. He can sense it.
Oh my god. We do see the Liberators are taking control of this base though, so Spirit is able to fight back at least a little bit here. We do see the Ravens again pushing on forward, still maintaining that control. Oh my god, looking to try to find a way in.
Yeah, but I mean, Clem can give up this base. Looking back at the base of Spirit, he doesn't have any extra CCs. He doesn't have a 5th on the way. He doesn't have macro orbitals like Clem does. Clem has 3 macro orbitals. He's got a 5th and 6th base being landed, trying to be established, including that sneaky base up into the top left. He's way ahead, so Spirit's in a pretty all-in position. Clem just needs to hold on, just needs to delay.
Yeah, exactly. He has to take this slow and steady. Meanwhile, Spirit, the onus is on him to deal more damage. We do see Clem even setting up for maybe even a bit of a counterattack. We're trying to outposition Spirit. Oh, another Raven gets picked off, but there's still plenty where that came from.
Yeah, Spirit being very active with his high Viking count, but it looks like Clem just says, forget it. I'm going straight across the map. I know I can slow you down. I know my economy is better. You're going to have to deal with this.
Yeah, and there we go. Spirit, he unsieges and he turns around as well. He doesn't want to go all in. He doesn't want to commit. He picks off another Raven, so not bad Viking control here overall. But Clem is getting on top of the high ground.
Yeah, Clem finds a really fantastic position. He's going to be able to put a lot of damage on this base. Spirit has to commit to a bit of a fight here. The Viking's going to be poking forward. Not really enough Liberators here to do anything. Spirit, you can see the difference in the army. Doesn't have those Ravens, doesn't have those Liberators to try to break through here. 2 Liberators do show up as I say that, but they're quite late.
Yeah, they are quite late indeed. We do see Spirit now committing with his own Vikings. He's going to be able to take down every single Viking of Clem. But Clem, he just took down, or he just denied 2 more CCs. The Marines are getting an insane amount of damage done here in the natural. He even picks off a starport.
Yeah, there's no more tanks here for Spirit, so Clem can just charge straight on into the main. We do see a bit of a combat pickup here for Spirit, but Clem here is too fast. He jumps right on top of those tanks, focuses them both down. We'll be getting some really nice damage for these Marines, and he can now progress his position down to the south here.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, it looks like Spirit may have been a little bit distracted. It looks like his Liberators actually got picked off, despite him having the higher Viking count. Meanwhile, the tanks that were left behind for Spirit also got cleaned up as well. He is running out of steam.
Yeah, Spirit is broke. He has so little mining. He is desperately trying to expand to both sides, but Clem has been really active with his forces out on the map, and I think spreading himself thin is going to be pretty tough here for Spirit. These tanks get a really nice position here for Clem as well.
Oh my god, yeah, they are in a nice position. The disables are going off. Almost every single tank of Spirit gets disabled, and what little Marines can push on forward forces these Vikings to land as well. Any kind of air superiority that Spirit once had is now gone.
Yeah, exactly. We see Ravens just being pumped out here from Clem, and those Ravens, they have so much utility both in the turrets with the disables, but Clem is starting to be pushed back here. We do see that the supplies are pretty even. Those were some slightly rough trades for Clem. He is starting to bleed off tanks.
Yeah, I was not expecting the reinforcing Liberators to come out from Spirit, but they're able to hold the line for the time being. Spirit double expanding right now. He's trying to take whatever base he can, and for the time being, he is getting away with these bases. I don't think he has the supply to defend them, and he doesn't have the sensor towers either. So if Clem starts going for some counterattacks, I don't know if Spirit can keep up.
Yeah, that is true. Clem is starting to set up a bit of a base here. Looks like the Liberators of Spirit have been doing some work, so you can see his late game's very strong, and he has been making a lot happen despite being so far down on bases. He is also having some liver harass going down here to that 3 o'clock base, and oh, a big fight going down. Clem has a fantastic position, disables every single tank.
Oh my god, the tanks get disabled. We have that anti-armor missile as well on the ground army. We do see at the end of things, Spirit has a couple of units remaining, but he lost his tanks, he lost his bio.
Wow, great fight here for Clem, and I think he can just pull back over here to the mineral line, heal up all his units, and should have an unstoppable push coming out here. That being said, I would like to see him heal up these units, because a bit of tank splash, a bit of a marine attack here could take out a bit too many tanks.
Yeah, repairs would be nice, but Clem, as you were pointing out, he did lose a lot of SCVs to Liberator Harass, and Spirit these CCs have now turned into planetaries. Like, his economy is not looking too bad. Spirit, even though he hasn't had the best fights, he has been able to rebuild his army. Now he's diving on in.
Yeah, nice dive here. These Ravens really facilitating a lot of damage here. And we see the turrets going down, so much DPS for those Vikings. And I think Clem is starting to break through.
Oh my god, the Vikings really did turn the battle in Clem's favor. He takes another fight, just barely. Does he have enough left over to keep on pushing? Again, he's only got 2 tanks. His Ravens, they do have enough energy for another round of turrets if he needs them. Spirit is pushing on in, though. He wants to try and save his base.
Yeah, it does look like he might just have enough Marine tank here to at least stabilize this position. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to save the base, but he can at least poke with these Vikings, take out a couple of Ravens. And meanwhile, he is fully mining up towards that 9 o'clock base.
Yeah, he really is. It is even oversaturated a little bit as well. It looks like with the reinforcement Spirit, he's going to be able to collapse on this and clean up what little that Clem had at this forward position. 2 tanks get picked off. Spirit holds on to his planetary.
Yeah, Spirit is holding on, but meanwhile, Clem mining from both of the corner bases. He is going to go for a bit of a rotation as well. He does have some tanks rallying in, so just continuing to make tanks of Vikings, Ravens most primarily. Quite a few Marines as well, just because it's been such an aggressive, dynamic game. And looks like Spirit is starting to set up a bit of a run by realizing that he does need to get some damage done to keep himself in this game.
Yeah, and he's going to be going for the bottom right-hand base. It looks like despite the repair, this Nexus is going to go down. At the same time, Clem is coming in from behind with the mass disable and with the mass auto turrets. The tanks are once again getting decimated.
Yeah, these Vikings are even going to be taking out those last couple medevacs. So this army here for Spirit is completely trapped. It is going to be going down, even a few turrets for some extra efficiency. And Spirit has been cleaned up despite taking out that base. He does take out 32 SCVs though, and this Marine run by to the north has been very successful.
He takes down another orbital, so Clem just lost 2 CCs here in the blink of an eye. Clem has to deal some counter damage, and there we go. He's diving into this planetary. Not going to be the most efficient trade, but he's going to be able to take down the base nonetheless.
Yeah, both players bleeding off a lot of Marines to planetary fortresses, but a little bit worse for where is Spirit. This little run-by force that he had is pretty much cleaned up now, but this is an absolutely wild finish to this game that we are approaching.
Yeah, and I think really it goes to show how powerful these energy-based units are in a low econ situation, despite both players hurting and hemorrhaging so much minerals and so much gas. It's the Ravens that have really been able to be the MVPs here for Clem.
Yeah, great anti-armor missile. There's just too much here for Clem, and Spirit types GG. But a pretty crazy end to that game.
Oh,
it looks like Clem was really far ahead for quite a while there, but Spirit's harass was fantastic all throughout, and he really made a game of that.
He really did. He really did. Like, it was looking quite dire for Spirit for so long, and he almost made the comeback a reality. He was able to even up the economies, even up the bases and the worker count. But I think we saw one too many fights go Clem's way instead. Like, Spirit was really struggling against, the mass disables, the mass auto turrets. Fought to the last though. Fought to the last.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he did hang in the late game, so we'll have to see if Clem might want to change his approach up a little bit and go for something more aggressive on this second map.
Yeah, picture a scenario where Spirit gets into the late game not behind. That's a scary prospect. So we'll see if he can get there as we're getting ready for game number 2. Tis gonna be on Inside and Out.
Yeah, there we go. So smaller map, a lot less bases, a lot more potential for aggression. Let's see it.
Oh.
Kill each other. Kill them all.
I was gonna say, I don't think there's a map with this few bases in the next map pool.
Yeah, there isn't. It's pretty messed up. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, down 1-0, but a very good showing that last game. It is Kaisi Gaming's Spirit.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have his opponent, the French Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Oh boy, we had a relatively passive early game in game number 1, where both players, they may have had different openers, but they kind of ended up in kind of similar scenarios. They were more concerned kind of defending and just being safe, but now we'll see how things differ here in game 2.
Yeah, for sure. As we do see both players this time going to be going for a double gas opening, so Spirit not going to be going for that fast expand again, despite pretty much getting away with it in that first game. Wasn't really able to get too much done there, and I think on a smaller map it definitely does make sense to go for the safer build.
Definitely. And I guess the other major thing, I guess, speaking about the previous game, is it's pretty interesting to see Spirit's take on a more late game scenario. As you were saying, at this level of play, we don't see that commitment into Ravens too often. I have to wonder if it's something that he's maybe comfortable with, or just something that he wanted to try and maybe catch Clem off guard, just because he had, such a large Viking lead. He thought maybe he could be a little bit cheeky with it. I mean, little things that I did notice was that Spirit was doing a great job at sniping Ravens whenever he could, but he was never able to reset the Raven count, which I think is maybe his goal there, maybe what he was looking for. I'm going for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Raven late game is just, it's kind of the stock standard TvT. It's something the Koreans have popularized, and Clem took a long time to integrate it into his play, but you can see that he has eventually done that. And to be honest, I think Ravens are just in a place in TvT right now where the only thing that you should really be doing against that is making your own Ravens.
Lovely. Oh my god. And yeah, I mean, that's maybe something that they're trying to address with the new patch, and will they be able to? We'll see. I know that they have been making a couple of adjustments to it. Meanwhile, when it comes to this game, we see a little bit of Reaper on Reaper action, and so far Spirit has come out a little bit worse for wear. His CC was delayed as a result of it, but he gets his his Hellion out. He's going to be able to push us back.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a cheeky move that Clem really likes going for, is sending that scouting SEV, or leaving that scouting SEV on this side of the map, and then using that to try to deny, or trying to win the Reaper fight, the 1v1 Reaper fight. But Spirit, he is able to take out one of the Reapers of Clem. Clem achieved his goal though. He delayed this CC by so much, and this early in the game, that leads to a very huge difference.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can see that here. Oh my god! Oh, Spirit wasn't quite paying attention. He loses his Cyclone for free, and losing these units this early on can snowball Clem. He maybe smells blood. He's going across the map. He's going to be splitting up his army, though. He's going to try and divert the attention here of Spirit.
Yeah, a little bit of a risky move coming out from Spirit, and he is punished. Maybe just feeling the pressure of trying to get a bit of a delay back on Clem, but I'm not really sure how he thought that one was going to work out, because I think Clem's units would have been back home in time anyway.
Yeah. So maybe just panicking a little bit here. We do see Clem once again trying to push himself up this ramp. He's going to be able to pick off a couple of Marines for his troubles. Does also spot the medevac as it popped out.
Yeah, so quite an aggressive build coming out from Spirit, getting that very fast medevac. I do think that he's realized just how far behind he is because of that delay on the on his CC in the natural, and he's probably made that medevac in reaction just to get a bit of damage on the other side of the map. But Clem, he should be ready for this. What does he have here?
Yeah, he's got 2 Marines, mate. He's got 2 Marines. The tank is in range of the add-on. The reactor is going to be going down. At the same time, Clem also goes for his own drop into the main base of Spirit.
Yeah, there we go. So that explains why he didn't have too much back at home. He's gone for his own drop. He's going to be focusing down those Marines. Might even be able to take out this Raven. That would be huge, but he's just going to pick up and pull back out. He's denying so much mining time of Spirit here, and with those Hellions going into the natural, there is no mining going down for Spirit right now.
Yeah, exactly. And Spirit was a little bit ambitious. He lifted up his tank and he actually dropped into the main base. He got surrounded immediately, and now the tank is dead. It got picked off. Spirit is running out of steam. Meanwhile, it looks like he also picks off the drop of Clem, but Clem definitely came out on top here in this trade.
Yeah, absolutely. When it does come to these trades between the two different drops, the Cyclone does tend to have a little bit more DPS when it comes to taking out SCVs, and looks like the multitask of Clem just a little bit better there as well, going straight in for the SCVs, where Spirit was being a bit more conservative, sitting on that low ground, picking off add-ons and that sort of thing.
Exactly, and now after the dust settles, we can see that Clem is ahead over 10 SCVs. We can see Spirit, I guess his advantage is... it's hard to say, where even in Raven's Spirit, he's also behind in the tank count as well. He's in a really rough place.
Yeah, I mean, I like that you're trying to look for the advantages that Spirit has in this situation, but I'm not sure if he has any. The only thing he's really got going for him is a higher Marine count, but Marines without Stim in this matchup are not particularly useful, to be honest.
Look, say no to drugs, kids, okay? Spirit, you know, he's he cares about his boys, he cares about his men with gun, he's looking out for their health, as he's going for a bit of a drop here. As we were kind of alluding to, he has to do something with this army supply, he has to do something with these Marines. We'll see what exactly as he moves out.
Yeah, I mean, he is behind 14 workers here, which in a mirror matchup is disastrous. We see Clem going fully into his transition, has a third CC, has those extra Araxes. Spirit barely able to afford this third CC while still making Vikings, and he's going to have to make something happen with this army that he has right now. I like the way that he's setting up this multi-prong attack. He should be looking to dive in with the Raven energy at the front and at the same time drop this medevac, but Clem's got 3 Ravens. He's got 3 tanks. He's got a good position.
Man, I'm getting some withdrawals. What I wanted really was for him to pull the boys. That's all I wanted in life, but unfortunately he didn't. We have a third CC on the way instead for Spirit. That was scouted, by the way, by Clem. Clem also has eyes on the army of Spirit as well. He is ready to receive. He has his Ravens in position. The drop is trying to sneak into the main base, though, and there's not much here for Clem to defend.
Yeah, so this drop is going to get a little bit of damage. We do have the Raven Viking being split off. The turrets and the Vikings should be able to deal with this quite easily, but Spirit might be able to disable these tanks and jump on this.
Oh, here we go. We have auto touch being thrown down on the tanks of Clem. They are left very exposed. This could be the moment here for Spirit, but he doesn't go for it. He does pick off 2 tanks, but the repairs are coming in.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice if Spirit timed his attacks with those turrets. He does take out 2 tanks, but that's going to be it. There's still 2 more tanks here for Clem. Clem still has energy on his Ravens. Clem just going to be playing the bully here. Oh, he blocks off with those turrets. Amazing move.
Oh my god, the Sim City, the turrets. There was no way out. Clem is going for a massive counterattack, and I 100% agree. I thought Spirit was going to go in with the auto turrets, unsiege, and just try and dive on top of that tank position, that tank line, and try and break the natural, but that opportunity has come and gone, and now Clem has the map control.
Yeah, Clem has the map control. He has the disables. He's going to be diving on in there. There's just the 1 more tank here for Spirit. Doesn't really have too much energy on his Ravens either, and Clem gets the trade, gets the win. GG is called.
Oh, GG, well played. Clem takes it 2-0 here in game number 2. You know, he was a little more in control. There were some moments for Spirit to come back, but alas, it was just a really rough position to come back from. Again, like when the dust settled, you know, after the drop harass had ended, like he was so far behind. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So Clem gets a 2-0. It was not the easiest 2-0, definitely a hard forward TvT between these 2 players, but he does in fact get that done and will be preserving his points against one of the tougher opponents in the group.
Exactly. You know, Spirit, Lambo, Clem, these are the players that we are expecting to make it out in this group. But in what order exactly? Who's to say? You know, we already had a bit of an upset earlier with Jumi taking down Lambo, or taking a game off of Lambo. Here, Clem, you know, he's still looking dominant. You know, as a reminder, just before he took on Spirit, he kind of had his way with Drogo. So I'm sure Clem is breathing easy after taking down Spirit. A sigh of relief.
Yeah, really nice start here in the group for Clem.
Definitely. And As we are continuing this group, I want to give a massive shout out to Babylings in the chat. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you enjoyed your ladder session and your stream. Yeah, it's great to see, or great to have some love going around amongst our own kind of regional streamers. You know, like it's pretty interesting, like how I don't know how it is, but like we all kind of know each other. You know, the ANZ community has kind of is relatively close knit, whether it's ourselves, the Ducklings, or Babylings, or Jadolf as well. Yeah.
Oh,
the support.
the Bay.
It's real. Oh, the Bay. Oh.
Miss him, puppy. I miss the streams.
I was gonna say the same thing. What's been happening? Where's the Jadolf streams? What happened?
And touching grass. He's been living life. He's been touching that Tasmanian grass.
Oh, he's lying. Look, if he's gonna be living life, then he better be playing some StarCraft, okay? Oh my god. But thank you so much, Babylings, for the raid. We really always do appreciate the support. Oh, as we have reached the halfway mark here of today's stream. 3 matches are done, and we have 3 more matches to come.
There we go. Any more StarCraft coming on up, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
Yes, we're going to be going on a bit of a short break here, so you know how it is, Asher. You know, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, papi.
Oh. Massage them while you have them.
Oh. We'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.